Hello and welcome. I'm going to do a quick video here on this green-white enchantments deck for Theros Standard on Arena here, and yeah, hope you like the video. So running a couple of Owl Seeds in here, kind of a God's Willing effect, protect stuff. Karamitra's Blessing, probably saying that wrong, but again, protection, protect my creatures plus a little buff if I need it, which is kind of cool. And then for Sentinel Eyes, for the Vigilance, it's an enchantment. Destiny Spinner to help protect against Simic Flash, counter spells in general. Plus it's the right creature type, and you got a mana sink for later in the game. Bronzehide Lion, super awesome card. I love the indestructible, super handy in testing. So yeah, really cool card. Angelic Gift for flying and card draw. Heliod, not a lot of lifelink in the deck, but such a great card. I threw it in there for fun. I mean, you can give stuff lifelink, throw on 1 counters. The champion here obviously goes great with all the enchantments we're running, boosted up big. Banishing Light, it's an enchantment, so again it can boost the champion and get rid of any problem card for the opponent. Prison Realm, same thing. And then Calyx to help us go find enchantments, and the -3 ability to get rid of problem creatures on the other side of the board, or problem enchantment. So yeah, hope you enjoy the deck, and yeah, let's get into it. So this first matchup here against Gurg, I believe his name is. I'm pretty sure this is against Simic Ramp, I believe is who I go up against. Yeah, obviously the audio here I'm doing after the fact, but yeah, wasn't quite sure how I'd do against this type of deck. Opponent did have some kind of unfortunate draws where they kind of drew dead or not very well. A couple turns in a row, which helped me out. But hey, you take anything you can against Simic, which I'm assuming is going to be probably a very prevalent deck in the Theros standard environment. Which, as soon as I saw that blue land, I was like, all right, we're getting out. I'm glad I got the spinner just in case they have any counters. They ended up not, at least from what I saw, not having any counters. But anytime you see blue on the other side of the board, those pains in the butts are likely in there. Just happened to not be the case this time. So especially with all the land the opponent ends up getting, I'm surprised they didn't take advantage of the blast zone a little bit more. I don't know if it would have changed the outcome of the game at all, but yeah. So here I got the champion down. I make the mistake at one point here. They're going to drop an Agent of Treachery and steal my champion. And I use the blessing to try and protect the champion. Well, since the champion didn't have any enchantments on it, it didn't really do me any good because it's not an enchantment creature. So mistake on my part. You'll see that coming up here. But obviously Krasis, big threat on their part. Got rid of it with the Banishing Light. Got a counter on the champion. Definitely still getting used to some of these cards. It's yesterday was when they launched on Arena, so still kind of getting my feet wet with them. But anytime you can beat a Simic deck, it's a good feeling. Obviously here I go straight for another Banishing Light. Forerunners is just obviously too much of a problem to ignore, but boosting up the champion further here again. Get in some quick damage while I can. So here's the good old ancient, or oh no, sorry. Maybe it's after the druid. Either way, I know it's in the deck. The agent of treachery's in there. Bronzehide Lion, such a cool card. I never had to activate the indestructibility for it. In this case, in this particular game, when I was doing some testing before I actually started recording, um, definitely that came in super handy. Probably wondering why I threw it on him. It's just get rid of the creature, plus I get lifelink out of it, help me regain some of my life. After the Forerunners dinged me earlier in the match, feeling kind of low. Gets rid of a pesky blocker and gained me some life, which was nice. See, here's my mistake right there. Boom. Even still, I could have sacked my creature there to save it, but yeah. I didn't. Yeah. He knows it, I knows it. The good old oops. I paid the 2 life here, just trying to like, okay, keep open some mana. That way, if I find any thing, but I actually decided to exile my champion that he stole. And here I just go in with the lion. No, I think yeah, I go in with 2. And as you can see, our opponent's got all the mana in the world. They end up getting a few Risen Reefs down here, help them do some card draw. They don't really find much, The fact that I was able to survive, Hydroid Krasis, the Inrazor Forerunner, or sorry, I probably butchered that, but and an Agent of Treachery all in this match. I was pretty pleased with how the deck did in those situations. Obviously, Banishing Light is a very fortunate card to have available. I think it's still an Angelic Gift here. We'll take a look at it. But overall, really enjoying this deck so far. In testing, I think I went 4-3 with it when I was just kind of playing around with the deck. Now I did make a few changes during that time frame, and then in this video, I think the 3 matches that I have in this video, you'll see me go 2-1. So not a bad win rate. But definitely a really fun deck. Very kind of enjoying the mechanic of it. I really, when Calyx was spoiled or whatever during preview season, I really didn't think much of it, especially compared to Ashiok. I felt both Calyx and Ashiok were, or I'm sorry, Calyx and Elspeth were fairly weak compared to Ashiok just at first glance. I kind of have a bias against, blue. It's just really not fun to play against a lot of times. Simic, Flash, counter spells, any of that kind of stuff. And I tend to, and with all the overpowered blue plus cards that we've had recently, Oko, Teferi, Agent of Treachery, whatever, just something with blue in it, I tend to be a little frustrated and biased. But here I give this guy protection from green. That with the in-air swing over is the 6 damage. So I bust out the old good game. Not much they can do here. Some kind of unfortunate drawing on their part. Some weathering of the storm on my part with some of the early big threats they had. Either way, a good win for me. But yeah, as far as Calyx goes, he fits this deck very well. So, is he the greatest planeswalker in the world? Probably not. It's got to be a very specific deck type for him, but he does fit well with what I'm doing in this deck. So this match I actually lose, and I'm pretty sure it's mono black. Get hit with I think 2 duresses in a row to start off the match. Just kind of a slow start on my part. Didn't get the right answers out. So here I wanted to get the lion out really bad, but I went with a spinner instead. So I was like, yeah, if they got removal, I can't pay to give the lion indestructible at this point. I wanted to wait till I had a little bit more mana out to be able to do that. And see, that fear was kind of realized with the Mortify there. Oh, so I guess it's not mono black, sorry. Orzhov, black-white. They kill my champion here, I think, right after this turn. Yeah, that getting rid of that angelic gift really hurt me. You'll see as it comes, they get a Spawn of Mayhem out, and that really swings the game in their favor. So here I leave the 2 mana open to be able to give the lion indestructible, but with the flying over the top, all my angelic gifts being taken out by all the duresses really hurt. If I could have given the lion flying along with the vigilance, that would have really helped keep Spawn of Mayhem from wrecking me. And here's where it kind of just really swings in their favor. They've got they can go over the top. Very smart on their parts, obviously, to target the angelic gifts. Here I thought about giving a creature +X/+X, but I realized, okay, well, that would only be 2. It'd be a 2/2 creature. It wouldn't really do me much good in this situation because they could just block it with the Spawn of Mayhem. And I wanted to keep the mana open to give the lion, again, indestructible if it was needed. So here with them getting, right here's where I kind of realized if I don't draw something this next turn, I'm going to be in a bad spot. So here they hit me with the Spawn of Mayhem. They wisely keep back a blocker in case I did draw something, but I ended up not drawing anything that was worth it for me. A Calyx probably would have been good. I could have gotten rid of the Spawn of Mayhem. So here I give the opponent the old good game because I know I'm toast. It's like maybe I'll get lucky and they'll block this with the with the flyer, but that they wisely don't do that. But yeah, give them the old good game. Obviously, that's with the Spawn of Man pinging me for one. That gives them enough power in the air to take me out here. So here I wasn't sure why they kept playing cards. I was trying to say, hey, look, you've got lethal. Yep, you've got go ahead and take me out. I probably could have just conceded to speed it up, but trying to give him it was a good game. He, got him down to 4 life. It was a very good back and forth game. I wanted to give him the take the honorable death, if you will. Now this deck was kind of interesting. I haven't seen um, anyone play with this kind of deck in a long time. It's just kind of a green-white sort of tokeny, I guess, build. Definitely haven't seen this deck in a while. I don't think I even saw any of the newer cards from Theros in here, or even really Throne of Eldraine for that matter. So kind of a flashback deck, kind of cool though. Um, in this match, I definitely have to weather some of the early storm. Here, I probably could have thrown out the champion, but I didn't want them to keep pumping out tokens with Amara, so threw out the old Banishing Light. Obviously not attacking there. I don't want to get rid of my God's Willing on a body. So I keep him back. They play quite a few Cavalier of Thorns in this matchup. Smart attack on their part. They know that's not a trade I'm wanting to make. Here I throw out another Banishing Light. Thinking, all right, I got to try and slow down the attack here. Thought about throwing out Calyx, but I decided to go with the champion instead. And here I just kind of got to eat 4 damage to the face. It's like, hey, that's all right. I'll get Calyx out next turn. Start finding some enchantments to get the champion going. Cavaliers are pretty decent. I mean, it's a 4/4. When it dies, you get 2/2/2 tokens out of it. So that's a lot of twos. So pretty good. It's got the vigilance on it. Actually, I think I used the Calyx to get rid of one of the Cavaliers. Oh no, no. But that at least puts the champion at 5 toughness, can withstand a block of a Cavalier. I think they actually swing in and then try and buff one of the Cavaliers to take out the champion. And I sack the God's Willing on the body to protect it here, keep it alive. Or maybe this is when they use the Conclave Tribunal to get rid of the Calyx, which obviously I was more than happy with, because I got another one in hand, so it's definitely not a concern for me. Had he gone for the champion, I would have sacked it there, but obviously not want to take 8 damage. That's a little bit too much. There I've got the Blessing, which is super nice. Just another thing to help. I was trying to see if I could escape the Sentinel's Eyes, but Sentinel's Eyes is one of the cards in the graveyard. So this is where things kind of start to swing in my favor a little bit. Start getting a lot of card draw. Super beneficial ability of the champion. So here I'm just taking out one of the Cavaliers, taking that out. They're going to get me down to 8 here. So I'm feeling a little bit of a pressure, but luckily I'm able to draw Heliod, which is kind of where things start to swing a little bit. Here I probably should have pumped for lifelink from the get-go, but I didn't. Didn't even think about it. It luckily ended up not hurting me in any way, which is good. But on the next turn, after this, because they kind of swing in with everything, knowing I'm as low as I am, and yeah, I mean, from there, once I'm able to start, I realize on the next turn, like, oh yeah, duh, I can pump Heliod, gain a bunch of life, throw a ton of counters on stuff, and I think that's kind of they call it good from there. But yeah, so here just block out as much as I can strategically without losing anything. And even though they still had a ton of life left, I think you'll see here's where they call it. But anyway, I appreciate you watching the video. I hope you liked it, and if you do, yeah. Either way, I just hope you like the video. I hope you enjoy Theros and have a good one.